We are not orbiting the sun. We are falling towards something immense, terrible, and unseen at nearly 2 million miles an hour, and the scientific community just gave our terminal velocity a deceptively pleasant name. Stop lying to yourself about stability. There is no calm center. There is only drift. The moment you grasp the true architecture of our existence, the cozy lie of the solar system, even the familiar grandeur of the Milky Way, collapses. They are distractions. They are local clutter. Your true address is Laniakea, the immeasurable heaven, a supercluster so vast it swallows every comfort you ever held about your place in the dark. It is 500 million light-years across, a structure comprised of 100,000 galaxies. Yet our arrival at this knowledge is not liberation. It is the ultimate psychological tax. You think discovering your home is beautiful. It's profoundly unsettling. It confirms that every step we take is merely acceleration toward an unknown gravity well, a cosmic undertow that governs everything from the rotation of a spiral arm to your own fleeting heartbeat. Science mapped our neighborhood, yes, but in doing so, it revealed we are permanent tenants in an intergalactic war zone of conflicting gravitational pulls. We are not sailing. We are being dragged. Here is the reality, raw and unedited. Laniakea is defined by flow. It's a massive hydrological basin, except instead of water, we have galaxies. Everything in this unimaginably vast structure is moving toward a single, terrifying sinkhole, something they call the Great Attractor, a dense knot of mass so powerful we can only infer its existence through its horrifying, silent influence. They can't see it clearly. We just know that the entire neighborhood is bowing down to it. This knowledge should not inspire awe. It should inspire a cold dread, because it proves there is no such thing as stillness, only different speeds of catastrophe. Every scientist who uses the word home when referring to Laniakea is participating in a monumental act of semantic cruelty. You call the path to the firing squad home if it's the only path you've ever known. The truth is, the greater the map, the greater the loneliness. If you are one of the few who can stare into the vortex of this profound cosmic insignificance and still demand to know the mechanics of the void, then you belong here, among those who refuse the comfortable illusion. We are the ones who pay the price for reality. Think about the sheer scale of the deception. For centuries we worried about Mars, about neighboring stars, small things, manageable fears. But Laniakea demands a different kind of fear, one that shatters the ego entirely. We are not just small, we are irrelevant. We are a single molecule of spray kicked up by the movement of a galactic wave that spans 50,000 times the size of our Milky Way. How do you live with that kind of perspective without collapsing into nihilism? How do you mandate meaning when the very foundation beneath your feet, the supercluster itself, is actively dissolving, pulled by forces too distant and overwhelming to ever comprehend, let alone fight? Maybe you think this is hyperbole. I sincerely doubt it. The universe doesn't care about your comfort. It just demands compliance with its gravitational laws. Now look closer at the forces that define our existence. You think you understand gravity? That's grade school physics. A simple attraction. Mass warps space-time. Apples full. They lied to you. That explanation is the 5% comfort blanket we use to hide from the staggering truth of the 95%. The universe, the place we pretend to inhabit, is mostly a ghost economy. It's defined by dark matter and dark energy. Don't flinch. Don't look away. These aren't just scientific placeholders. These are monumental confessions of failure, enshrined in cosmic dogma. Dark matter is the apology required to keep the math from collapsing. If you look at any galaxy, including our own spiral of mediocre starlight, it is spinning far too fast. It should have torn itself into universal shrapnel billions of years ago. Why hasn't it? Because some invisible, non-interacting mass, this dark matter, is acting like the ultimate silent structural engineer, providing the necessary glue. It holds the whole roaring centrifuge together. We can't see it. We can't touch it. We only know it's there because if it wasn't, the known universe simply wouldn't exist as a cohesive structure. It's the essential, terrifying scaffolding supporting the stage where we play our tiny, meaningless dramas. Now that is dread. But dark energy? That is the cosmic death sentence written in accelerated expansion. If dark matter is the reluctant glue, dark energy is the accelerating jackhammer. It's pushing every galaxy, every cluster, every single star system away from every other, ripping the fabric of space-time faster than light itself, in many cases. The Great Attractor is pulling us toward localized doom. Yes, but the dark energy is ensuring the entire cosmic neighborhood ends in a state of cold, isolated oblivion. You are subject to two opposing, unseen, incomprehensible forces. One pulling you to a dense knot of mass you can't see, the other pushing your destination away from everything else forever. This is not balance. This is torture by physics. You there? You still listening? Still demanding the clarity even when the facts are this toxic? If you prefer the painful architecture of truth over the sweet synthetic illusion, you recognize the essential cost of clarity. That choice alone separates you from the comfortable majority. We pay that price here, every single day. Look at how they classify this stuff. They call dark matter WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles, a cute little acronym for the essential terrifying force that undergirds reality. Seriously? WIMPs? This is how scientists cope, by infantilizing the profound terror. It's denial wrapped in differential equations. We are living inside a mechanism 95% defined by things we cannot describe, measure, or understand, and we call ourselves intelligent. We define our lives by comfort, by prediction, by the illusion of control. But the entire scaffolding of reality is fundamentally unpredictable, founded on forces that are either clinging desperately, dark matter, or fleeing furiously, dark energy. Serenity is a human invention. Universal chaos is the baseline. The way we talk about the cosmos is fundamentally dishonest because we impose human psychology onto inhuman scale. We talk about the age of the universe as if time functions linearly in the same way everywhere. We talk about discovery when we are really just stumbling upon the latest layer of our own profound, inescapable ignorance. The forces defining the movements of Laniakea, the same forces that ensure that specific galaxies will eventually drift so far apart from us that they will exit our cosmological horizon entirely, becoming forever unreachable and unobservable, are the same forces that dictate your own trajectory. You are not exempt from the push and pull. Your life, your job, your ambitions, your relationships, they are all gravitational attractors and gravitational repellents. They define your orbit. You think you're making a conscious choice when you move to a new city or change careers. Ledo engano. That is the necessary angular momentum required to satisfy the invisible mass of your internal great attractor. The ambition, the fear, the necessity that you cannot deny. We are proof that freedom is merely a higher velocity in a predetermined path. The laws of nature are the laws of compliance, and the grand, terrifying mechanism that pulls Laniakea across the void confirms the ultimate verdict. Structure is merely destruction on a very long schedule. The final insult is the realization that the expansion of the universe, that furious, dark acceleration, will eventually erase the evidence of the cosmos itself, not through collision but through solitude. Galaxies will eventually fly apart so fast that the light from anything outside our immediate local group will stretch out so severely that it will become undetectable, invisible. Future generations, perhaps 1 trillion years from now, will look out into the night sky and see nothing but the few hundred galaxies in our own local bubble. They will conclude the universe is small, isolated, and static. They will live in a tiny, perfect, self-contained lie. We are the last generation that will have the privilege, the terrifying burden, of witnessing the full, roaring scale of universal chaos before the cosmic night truly descends, sealing the evidence of its own magnitude away forever. We are watching the ghost retreat. Do not romanticize this. This is not beautiful. This is the definition of fatalism written in the sky. Every second that passes, that unseeable boundary of light retreats further, and the universe shrinks, not physically but perceptually. We are running out of observable reality. You must understand the great attractor is pulling us, yes, but dark energy ensures that our destination will ultimately be rendered meaningless, pulled into the ultimate oblivion that is cold, infinite isolation. Our greatest effort is defined by our final, absolute helplessness. Now let's talk about your panic. You feel this dread, don't you? It's not just the stock market, not just your mortgage. It's the profound, sickening realization that the stakes are constantly dissolving. We invent deadlines. We chase titles. We call this purpose. A necessary psychological firewall against the void. Why work so hard? Why build that company? Because the alternative is admitting you are watching the ghost retreat. And acknowledging the ghost means you must stand still. We hate standing still. Motion is safety. We are addicted to the illusion of trajectory. We are the ultimate busybodies, running faster and faster, simply to keep the cosmic silence from taking hold. Think about your calendar. Packed, isn't it? Every meeting, every lunch, every self-improvement course. It's all insulation, soundproofing the final verdict. We buy faster cars. We demand instant information. We accelerate our daily lives precisely because the ultimate acceleration, the dark energy driving everything apart, is stealing our future view. We are mirroring the chaos just to feel relevant. You believe you are achieving something called efficiency. Ledo engano. Efficiency is the cruelest lie of the modern age. It is a mechanism for extracting energy. Nothing more. You are not productive. You are extracted. You trade precious, shrinking observable reality for digits in a bank account that will buy you better, quieter insulation. Look closely at the systems built around you. They are designed for infinite scalability, yet human life is brutally finite. This is the paradox you live inside. The machine demands growth, always. The machine doesn't care if the universe is running cold. It demands Q3 profits. It demands quarterly reports detailing your magnificent progress toward a destination already proven worthless by physics. Your boss isn't truly asking for results. They are asking for confirmation that game is still worth playing, and they need you to be the ritual sacrificial lamb that validates the struggle. The hierarchy demands ritual denial. We comply. We sign the timesheet. We hit the goal. We believe the lie. But the truth is we have confused measurement with meaning. We mistake the clock for the compass. Our reliance on the metric system, on KPIs, on maximizing yield, is just a sophisticated way of focusing on the noise, so we don't have to hear the silence of the expanding vacuum. We are scared to death of having nothing to do, nothing to chase, nothing to conquer. Because stopping means acknowledging that we are already pulled tight by the great attractor, and all our frantic movement is merely the twitching of a puppet on a string, rushing toward a fate that is irrelevant by the time we arrive. Stop lying to yourself about hope. Hope is the opium of the intellectually terrified. It is the childish refusal to accept the boundaries of the local group. You look outward and hope for a starship, hope for a great civilizational awakening, but I sincerely doubt it. The universe already gave its final answer. Isolation, silence. We are genetically predisposed to deny solitude, yet solitude is our fate. The tragedy isn't that we will die. The tragedy is that we spent our brief, terrifying moment of roaring observation building tiny, comfortable cages instead of truly grappling with the magnificent horror unfolding above us. We looked down. We looked at the spreadsheets. We looked at the metrics. We missed the ghost retreating entirely, because we were too busy running on the treadmill we called purpose. We chose the local, consumable lie over the distant, terrifying truth. We chose convenience over cosmology. The cosmic night is descending. It's coming for us. It's already here. And this is the poison you swallow. This frantic activity, this obsession with movement and scale, doesn't just waste your time. It consumes your spiritual resources. It extracts a specific, non-negotiable tax from your inner life. You feel the constant pressure. You call it stress. I call it the sound of your soul screaming for the silence you refuse to grant it. The universe demands stillness for contemplation. We instead engineered a system that punishes stillness, criminalizes contemplation, and rewards pure, unsustainable acceleration. We became addicted to the dopamine drip of the completed task. The problem is that dopamine does not stack. It evaporates instantly. So you chase the next number. You chase the next goal. You chase the next empty affirmation that you are, in fact, still moving forward, even as the walls of the maze are collapsing around you. This is how you confuse motion with meaning. This is how you confuse measurement with morality. It's a beautifully cruel efficiency engine designed to make you feel perpetually insufficient. You look at the KPIs, and they whisper, "You haven't done enough." Not yet. Never enough. The cost of this compliance, the tax on choosing the local comfort of the spreadsheet over the cosmic horror of the truth, is pure, sustained, low-grade terror. That hollowness you feel. That's the exact shape of the existential question you refuse to ask, filling up with corporate anxiety. We chose to trade profound depth for expansive surface area. We traded the quiet revolution of inner understanding for the noisy affirmation of external success. We became expert runners on a treadmill placed strategically facing the wall, ensuring we never glimpsed the magnificent vista unfolding behind us. We bought the lie. We paid the premium. We paid for the illusion of control with our sanity. The ultimate tragedy is not the final cold fact of universal indifference. The tragedy is the profound waste of our brief, miraculous moment of sentience. We were handed the greatest mystery ever conceived, existence itself, and we spent our time arguing about budget allocations and reporting percentages. We were observers uniquely qualified to grapple with the magnificent horror of it all. But we became bureaucrats of our own suffering. We are the only creatures in the known universe capable of understanding the void, and we chose instead to meticulously polish the cage. So here is the final verdict. You are not failing the system. The system is perfectly succeeding at draining you. The greatest metric of success in this late-stage civilization is not wealth or power. It is the amount of internal peace you manage to retain. While everyone around you is panicking about an arbitrary deadline, you cannot optimize your way out of entropy. You cannot report your way out of cosmic isolation. The struggle is futile, but the choice is real. The choice is always whether you will continue running the required route, or if you will simply stop, drop the clipboard, and finally look up at the sheer impossibility of the sky. The clock is irrelevant. The metrics are noise. The only thing that matters is the clarity of your observation in the moment before the lights go out. Stop. Look. See the ghost. See the machine. See yourself. The cosmic night is descending now. It has already begun. You think this is just economics. You are gravely mistaken. This is spiritual larceny. They didn't just steal your time. They stole your cognitive runway. They depleted your capacity for profound thought by substituting it with procedural noise. They poisoned the well of your self-regard with endless synthetic comparison metrics and manufactured urgency. This is the hidden tax. This is the true price, paid not in dollars but in clarity, in peace, in the unrecoverable hours where you could have been grappling with something truly magnificent. You were robbed of silence. You were robbed of self. The final ugly reality is that your stress is not a side effect of the machine. It is the primary intended product. The entire mechanism, from the quarterly report to the aggressive timeline, runs efficiently on your exhaustion. They need you too tired to think about the cosmos, too worried about the next Q3 projection to notice the sheer glorious audacity of being alive outside of their prescribed grid. This is the perfected silent violence of late-stage civilization. You are not meant to be fulfilled. You are meant to be reliably anxious. But the escape hatch, the true path out, is already built into the wiring. It always was. You don't need to quit your job and move to a remote island, sacrificing one illusion for another. That too is just another scripted option. What you must do is recognize the fraudulence of the anxiety right now, in this moment. Feel the panic rise. Acknowledge the deadline. Acknowledge the expectation. And then, deliberately, sever its authority over your nervous system. Stop giving the ghost machine permission to hunt your attention. Drop the attachment to the outcome. The final verdict, then, is simple. You were never meant to solve the system. You were meant to outlast its psychological hold. The single greatest act of rebellion available to you, the one that causes the entire infrastructure of control to stutter and fail, is to stand utterly still within the chaos. Look at the clock face. It is a lie. That number on your bank statement is a collective fantasy we agreed to empower. Your only currency is attention. Your only real asset is the brief, profound, precious flicker of consciousness burning in your skull. Guard it fiercely. Protect that small, luminous space where the metrics dissolve and the sky is finally, terrifyingly vast. That is where you win. That is the only victory that counts. The night is quiet now. This is the final transaction. They tried to buy your stillness. They priced your soul based on metrics that don't even exist in the real world. Stop paying the anxiety tax. Stop contributing to the collective delusion that busy equals meaningful. The quiet is the weapon. Look closer at the architecture of your own panic. It is hollow. It is just the echoes of somebody else's fear, projected onto your future. This is your exit cue. You are not obligated to carry their burden, their timeline, or their manufactured catastrophe. The final, irreducible truth is this. Your life is not a project to be managed. It is an experience to be felt. The system needed you to forget that. Don't let it win the memory war. The machine is loud, but it is ultimately frail. It cannot touch the silence inside the center of your consciousness. When you step back, the entire towering edifice of expectation shrinks into its proper size. A footnote. You were never meant to be found within the grid. You were meant to dissolve the grid just by refusing to participate in its terror. Recognize the vastness. Step into the void. That is the only place left.